Hello, everyone. Welcome to Two Broke Sophomores. My name is Andrew Cohen,
I'm George Long.
and we have an amazing show today. Today on the show is the Halloween episode, so
Well, semi-Halloween.
we're recording this on Friday. We recorded the episode yesterday, and
On
now
Halloween.
now it's Fridays, and it was a scary time of year. And
It is.
we're
It's
talking about
scary.
scary. We're gonna talk about a scary subject known as climate change.
Yeah.
And to do that, our guest this week, it is youth climate activist and anti-tobacco activist, which we learned soon after,
Yeah.
Anna Grace Hottinger.
Yep. That's our guest.
That's our guest. That's who we have on.
She's gonna join us as we delve into the very scary and spooky and Halloween subject of climate change and politics in modern America. Because
yeah,
let's face it, it's just scary.
it's terrifying. We
Yeah.
don't know what's gonna happen. Nobody knows.
Forget all these modern horror films. Just show me politics, and I'll cry myself to sleep.
I watched Get Out, and then I watched C-SPAN, and I don't know which one was scarier.
Nice. That is technically.
Was that
Yeah.
over dramatic?
I mean, no, because it's true.
It's kind of true, but
Yeah.
they're both very scary. Get Out and C-SPAN. They're both scary in different ways. I think if you really look at it, one's gonna scare you out of your mind, and then one is just gonna scare your brain into death.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, which one's which, we will never know. So
That's for you to decide.
So that's our guest. We've been on a 2-week break, and
Yeah, we've just been a bit busy.
we've been busy college students, busy being broke,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's kind of the broke tube. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of why it's in the name, you know?
That's why it's in the name. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was your break?
It was pretty good. I mean, I just got a lot of work done because it was midterms as well. That's also why you had to take it off. We were both busy with our midterms.
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
I sure was. And I took a math midterm that I was not prepared for.
And
that
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a C.
Oof.
Which was better than
bad. Yeah, not too bad for not being prepared at all.
I didn't answer half the questions. That was what happened.
Oh, that's your problem.
I didn't answer half. I didn't know the answers.
I mean, was it multiple choice?
No. I had to show my work.
All of my midterms have been multiple choice.
That sounds nice. That sounds simple. Nice and simple.
Yeah. No, it is nice and simple because at least you can get things just more.
You have
rough.
a 25% chance.
Yeah.
Of doing it right.
You definitely do. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I have to do a midterm for comedy class.
Oh, excuse me. I think you should just walk in and say, comedy is up to the viewer. What we find funny is different between each person.
You'd think that, right?
You think? Yeah, I would think that. It's one of those things.
But apparently, there's a specific way to construct comedy. It's a specific way of joking, and there's a specific structure to it.
Follow that code, the comedy code.
I feel like if I get anything less than an A in a comedy class, it's just gonna be my parents look at me like, you dumbass.
Yeah, honestly, they'd be like, "Why are we paying for?"
It's like, how do you fail a comedy class?
Yeah, honestly, how do you well, I mean, I guess if you're just not funny.
If you're not funny, I guess, But
Andrew, why do you sound so confident there? If I was you, I'd be a bit worried.
I should be.
Usually, Should be
You're right. You're absolutely right, because I auditioned for we have this like Saturday Night Live sort of like style thing, and I did not get in. Learned that today.
Yeah, you should.
So I am scared.
Good.
But yeah, during our break, we've had some updates. If you haven't checked out the Instagram or Twitter, we are on YouTube.
Yeah.
That sounded fake.
It did, but we are.
But we are on YouTube. It's
cool.
If you don't have an iPhone or a Mac or any way to access iTunes, you can now go on YouTube and check out all the episodes of Two Broke Sophomores, and it's because you can never have enough ways to listen to Two Broke Sophomores.
Yeah, you really can't. We're gonna keep doing it, and we're gonna, next month I think we're gonna try and get out on Zune.
Zune? What's Zune?
On the Zune.
What's the Zune?
It's the Microsoft iPod from like 2010s that failed.
What is it? What is this?
It's a Zune.
Zune?
Zune. Zune.
Isn't that a book?
No.
Oh wait, that's
Dune. Yep. There you go, Andrew.
All
right. Yep. Good job, Andrew. I think that's a good note to transition into our interview now.
Yeah. Speaking of doveness of man.
Yeah, before we get too far into what a Zune is.
Before we could do an entire podcast about Zune. That's next week.
Yeah, next week, the history of the Zune.
The history of the Zune with us.
Yeah. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, anyways, it was a great talk with Anna Grace Hottinger. She's a lovely young lady, and she's doing some great things for the world, and we were very happy to talk to her. And it went well, right? I think it went well.
I think it went very well, honestly, yeah.
I'm happy with the result. Like, it seemed good.
Same here. I was really happy with it.
Yeah, but anyways, remember to review us on iTunes, give us 5 stars or 4 stars, whatever you think we deserve.
As long as it's more than a 3.
As long as it's more than a 3, then you can give us it. But if you go out of your way to give us 1 star, I'm gonna fine you.
Andrew will personally find you. I won't really do anything about it.
He won't do anything. Good. I will find you.
Andrew will.
And I will do something. You don't want to know what I'll do.
I don't even want to know.
I'm going to be the next Liam Neeson. I will find you. And I will kill you. That's not a good
Liam
impression. Anyways, moving on. I won't find you, okay? I promise I won't, okay?
And
I promise
you're
safe.
Not beat you up.
You're safe.
Because that is illegal.
It's illegal in certain states.
I'm pretty sure beating someone up just cause is a crime. That's because you planned it.
I planned it. Yeah.
Anyways, let's stop going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it.
We both have ADHD. Yeah, definitely. So we definitely do. But anyways, yes, as we said, give us 5 stars, subscribe on iTunes, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you got. Nobody uses Facebook anymore. But
just wherever you want.
Find us. Visit our website, twobrokesophomores.libsyn.com.
Yeah.
We're very humble. We don't have just a .com. We have .libsyn.com.
Yeah.
We're humble like that.
Yeah, we really are.
But anyways, yes, so here's our conversation with Anna Grace Hottinger. Enjoy. Welcome to Two Broke Sophomores.
Hello, thank you for having me.
It's really great to have you on.
Yeah, we're very happy to have you because we've had a lot of actors and singers, and we of course we like actors and singers and people who entertain people, but we also really want to talk to people like you who are really trying to save this planet and put in the effort to make sure people still live here in another 25 years.
Well, it's an honor.
Yeah. The fact that we have to say that, though, that's pretty grim.
Yeah.
Right?
Kind of scary.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It is as scary as scientists are saying, right? Climate change is really, really getting bad.
Yeah, I'd say so. And also, we just kind of can see it, like, prevalent in anything that we do now. Like, you turn on your TV, you're like, oh, dang, the wildfires were at historic highs last year. Now they're historic highs again. So things like that, too.
I mean, if we look at, everything that's going on, like in California, for instance, it's insane. Everyone's being evacuated from their homes, and, it's really just upsetting to see.
Oh, for sure. It's, like, upsetting, and it's also just kind of, I'm a big economic person, and it's just, like, so horrible economically, too.
Oh, it really is. There's, like, no good coming out of all this. It's terrible.
And it feels like the only people who are going to, save the day are, people our age or people your age and, younger. Because we're the only people that seem to care. That's what I find sort of ridiculous about this one.
Yeah.
Why is there so much inaction in the government to do something? Like scientists, like most people of good, sound mind and body know this is the thing. So why do you think, nothing is moving on this in terms of the government?
I think one thing is, of course, the political climate. Things have not been moving very fast in kind of any sort of policy. But also it's kind of a scary thing. And I think that people don't want to face it, or because it's such like a partisan issue these days. Like everybody's just so separated by it, and it's a Republican issue. Not a Republican issue, but people, of course, say that. And so then if you're a Republican and you're experiencing this, you don't want to admit that we need to do something on it. So I think it's also kind of the part of our like preset mindsets about who is making those decisions, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know about you. I've been advocating for kids in Congress for the past 5 years. I think we could do a better job than...
Oh, for sure. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they're like, let's just put a whole bunch of elementary schoolers in, and they could do a really good job.
Like, I feel like the younger you are, everything seems more simple. They're like, do we do something about this? Yes.
We do.
Yes, we do. There's no extra thing. There's no discrepancy of well, there's also a thing about this. They're just like, yes, let's do something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. So, you're from Minnesota, correct? Correct. And what was your original inspiration for? Because on March 15th, you led people from your school in a school strike. So that must be terrifying to sort of take a jump like that, right?
Oh, for sure. I do so it's a very, very big, hard thing. And a few months before, I'd actually organized something at the governor's office, and we got a meeting with the governor, which was also highly intimidating. But I got involved just through other people and through knowing that climate change is an issue, and I never learned about it in school, which I found very intriguing. But it was a very scary thing to leak. There's maybe 2,000 people were at our strike, and I was the state lead, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Why is this on my hands?
Really?
Yeah, it really sounds like quite a lot that you had to deal with. I mean, because you just said there was like 2,000-ish people, right?
Yeah, like 2000.
Yeah, that's a lot, especially for someone like, because you're still in high school. That's a lot for someone in high school to have to lead, and that's a lot of pressure. But I mean, it seems like you're doing a good job, and you're willing to kind of take it on to fight for this change.
Were you
For
marked
sure, it's definitely a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Were you marked absent in your classes that day?
Yes, I did, and I do every Friday. And so did everybody else there too.
Oh, so did you say every Friday or?
Yeah, every Friday.
Okay. There's not like a limit that they'll be like, Anna Grace, you got to pull it together. We love that you're, striking and trying to save the planet, but, got to get those grades up, got to get that attendance in. I mean,
I feel like.
Yeah, good.
I feel like they've set that limit, and I definitely pass it a lot. Like, I don't go to school all the time because I also am always in the Capitol doing something. So I think they've kind of reached the point where they're like, you know what, she'll just do what she's like gotta do. But there definitely is some like some issues with my attendance.
I mean, at least you're missing school for like a worthwhile cause. You're fighting for the future. It's not like you're just taking the time off just to sit at home and do nothing.
Exactly.
I feel like if it was proven that you just were actually sitting at home, then they'd have a lot more issues with it.
Precisely. I'm not like skipping school every day for nothing important. I'm just, skipping school to save everybody's future.
Yeah. It's no big deal. Just your average basic high school stuff.
Exactly. I'm like any other person.
Yeah.
What do your parents think about, I'm guessing if you're able to do it every Friday, your parents are okay with not going to school every Friday.
They're okay with it. My dad is definitely like more chill about it. My mom's just kind of like, oh my god, she is up to something. She thinks it's probably a phase. But
oh, this climate change, it's just a phase.
But they're like chill with everything. They just as long as I keep my grades up.
And I'm guessing you're keeping your grades up?
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's good, I guess. I never did that. But
yeah, I had a hard enough job keeping my grades up of just school. I can't imagine that, and also like every Friday missing to just go and fight for the planet.
I should have done that, honestly. Sounds like a better use of high school.
Yeah.
I skipped out the last 4 weeks of my high school because I lied that I did internship. I was supposed to.
Andrew, you've just admitted that, so get ready for everything to come flooding back. Your high school's going to call you, hey, come back for 4 more weeks.
Yeah, you're going to get some repercussions there.
Yeah, everything is null now.
Exactly, but I mean that sounds amazing, honestly. What about like the school officials? Are they okay with this? Or because if they keep marking you absent, I mean they must know.
Yeah, they know, and like they're okay with it because now I've kind of gotten to the point where this is gonna sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but I've gotten to the point where I'm kind of like known around the state for what I do. So they're like, oh, I guess she's a cool person who can represent us as like a good school.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It is good that they're understanding of it as well, like that. Like if they weren't, that would just be a big issue.
Yeah, if they weren't, we'd all be kind of screwed over.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, what was I gonna say? Do you see yourself in the future kind of like, going into like politics? or something to like really. I mean, you're representing your state now. Do you plan on, officially representing the state someday?
That's a good question. I mean, I love politics and policy, and like I'm far too involved in it. But also, the government is a scary, like, toxic place, so I don't want people to hate me.
Honestly, it's really scary as the government.
Yeah, they have like aliens.
That's Andrew's concern, aliens. The real concern here, Andrew, is more just political turmoil.
I'm really concerned about the aliens. Are you kidding me? Terrifying. Maybe the aliens could stop climate change.
Let's hope they do.
I would hope they do. That's my theory, which isn't a good one, but it's there. But anyway,
they could be secretly hiding out.
They could be secretly hiding out. We don't know. No, this whole thing is because it's Halloween today, and I'm going as a conspiracy theorist, so I'm just trying to.
Oh, you're just prepping yourself to get into the mood.
Yeah, but anyways, but yeah, they could. I was reading something. I was reading about you, and you said this was inspired because your sister was evacuated from a recent California wildfire at the time of. Talk about how was sort of talking to your sister and sort of going through that with her. Like how was that?
It was definitely really hard. Because I had never really assumed that anybody I knew was going to be impacted by anything like that. But also because she was just like, in the fire zone. And so that was really, really scary. And it was also scary for her because she had just kind of wanted to come home and like be with the people that comforted her. But of course, I do have to note that she's like a better off person, and so she wasn't as impacted as many other people. But it has been scary, and like right now she's being evacuated too through this fire. So it has been like, yeah, she's okay. It's just kind of, I think, hard on her still.
It's, I mean, I could understand that. I mean, it's being evacuated twice.
Yeah, being evacuated does not sound like a fun thing at all.
I mean, it wasn't Hawaii.
Yeah.
It was probably, where was she evacuated to?
She was just evacuated, I don't know, somewhere else that wasn't like as impacted. But of course the smoke and fire is kind of like everywhere. So I think she went down to San Diego with her boyfriend with, but don't know for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine having to go through that. I was even, I felt evacuated by my home, and that was scary, but there wasn't even any fire. They were just doing work on the house, and I can't even imagine a fire there. God.
Yeah.
Awful. But, you're also, we read that you're also anti-tobacco.
Yeah, I do a lot of anti-vaping, well, like, not anti-vaping, I guess, but just, like, use of tobacco products. I do a lot of advocacy and organizing for that, too.
Yeah, what inspired that? It's a little different than, I don't know if this is true, but is like climate change and vaping like connected in any way? Is that sort of what brought it together, or this was just another issue?
Not at all. Oh, my doorbell. I got interested in it because trick or treat. Oh, got some trick or treaters.
That's going to be a lot of guys. If you're listening to this podcast, keep in mind we are recording during the midst of
Halloween.
I am so sorry about that.
It is perfectly fine. It makes the podcast more authentic.
It does, and I think every so often what we should do now is just ask a trick-or-treater their opinion.
We should take.
How do you feel?
Yeah, next time you shows up, just be like, "What's your thoughts on climate change?" Just say it right to like some 3-year-old, right in the, look dead in the eyes, and say it.
I mean, I feel like you get a lot of one-word answers.
We would, but Andrew, it's also the best way to test your elementary kids in Congress method.
Yeah.
You have your theory. They would do good. We have a way to test it now.
Imagine
exactly.
They don't get candy until they tell me what their solution to climate change is.
Exactly. Oh God.
There is no treat until we save our planet.
Have you read this book? This is a question, but have you read this book? There's a book and a sequel. It's called The Kid Who Ran for President.
I've never even heard of it.
There's a book. It's called The Kid Who Ran for President and The Kid Who Became President. There's one is how he became president, and then the sequel is about his presidency. And it's so interesting because he was a much better president than a lot of the presidents that we've seen. It was insane how good of a president he is. A 12-year-old boy.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
The Kid Who Ran. I'm telling you, I haven't read it in a while, but I still remember. I think it was inspirational. It was.
I'm legitimately looking at it right now because I actually found the first page, and I mean, he seems to care about the people's opinion. He does call it the United States. Yeah.
Do you think a kid president would work? In today's world, a smart kid president. I'm not talking about a random...
smarter than Doogie Howser, right?
Yeah, if he
all right.
Very smart, all A's, what do you think?
I feel like it would work out.
It'd work out? Really?
Yeah, they just would probably need an advisor.
Most definitely.
And a lot of the presidencies don't make any impact on the president's decisions, but they would definitely need somebody who kind of knows their way around the Capitol.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like it would depend on the cabinet. I feel like the cabinet would be a major asset to that 12-year-old.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, enough about that book. What inspired the anti-tobacco activism?
Yeah, so that one's not super affiliated with climate change, though of course climate change, cigarettes are one of the biggest polluters.
I'm sure the manufacturers aren't the best.
Yeah.
No. But then also because I just dealt with a lot of people in my life who have addiction to different substances. And I was like, hey, vaping is a big epidemic in my age group, and I'm seeing a lot of my age mates struggling with the addiction to it and also not being educated about it. And so I was like, well, let's talk about it. So that's kind of how I got into it.
So, George, do you want to say something?
No, I fully agree. It is a big issue, especially with youth, because at least there's that recent kind of Juul ban that came into effect, but there was all those fruity flavors and stuff, and it seemed like it was just being advertised towards a younger market, because it really was.
Exactly. Well, it was essentially vaping, the use of e-cigarettes was for people who were trying to quit cigarettes, and then all of a sudden Juul came out with all their flavors and stuff, and it was less about the adults who are trying to quit smoking, but more about the kids who get into that industry.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's like vaping. I mean, vaping and smoking. I mean, the only thing I think vaping helps is to secondhand people around them, because I guess it comes out as water vapor, right, instead of smoke.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only. Besides that, there's not really. Is there a real difference between the two?
Not really. Although, one Juul pod, for example, has the 5 cigarette packs amount of nicotine. So, Juul does have high amounts of nicotine, but then, of course, so sorry, I'm just using Juul because Juul's the big culprit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But cigarettes are more harmful to people around you.
Yeah. I was just gonna say this episode is not brought to you by Juul.
I mean, I think that's pretty clear from the fact we're just saying that Juul is basically not a good company. Like, the idea of helping people get off cigarettes at first is not a bad idea, but then there's the fact that they were sort of marketing towards kids. Like, they're not officially saying they were, but it was very much so targeted at a younger audience. And then the fact that, like, even though people are trying to end it and everything, there's just they keep fighting to keep going, and it doesn't seem like they're that interested in actually doing public good as they originally stated they were. It seems like now they're more interested in just getting money.
Precisely.
I was just in my apartment. One of my roommates had a couple friends over. They were all vaping in the apartment. And it's like everywhere, and you know, I never see it seems like a lot of, you know, it doesn't seem very cool, you know. It doesn't seem like the thing that would, you know, inspire to greatness. I don't know where I was going with that, but it just doesn't seem, you know. Do a lot of your friends? I'm guessing. Do you have a lot of friends who vape? Because I know in college we're both sophomores, two broke sophomores.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to have friends who don't vape.
Yeah.
Is that something you are you still friends with people who, you know, vape, or is that kind of like a off limits, you know, with friendships?
Vaping is like huge for kids my age.
What? Sorry?
Vaping is like the thing for everybody my age right now.
Yeah, it's pretty hard not to be friends with someone like who vapes. Like, I feel like a lot of people have. And a lot of people do, because we're sort of in the midst of, like, not necessarily, like, the birth, but definitely, like, the height of vaping. Like, when it's gotten the most public attention, the most marketing, and the most sort of, like, commonplace knowledge.
And it's just like I think one thing my sister said to me once was, she was like, if you vape, I'm probably not going to be friends with you. And I thought about that, and I'm like, that's impossible to do in today's world. It's impossible to find friends who don't vape, and, you know, or if you find a friend, you're like, oh, maybe he doesn't vape, and then you discover it and it feels like a betrayal. It's just like, no, why? So you were the good one.
Oh, another trick-or-treater.
Not another one.
All right, let's think of these hard-hitting questions.
Do you want to ask them anything?
No, we're not actually. Let's not actually ask them. Let's let them enjoy their night. But
are you like right next to your door?
Yep.
You're just doing this. You're just having an interview right next.
You're welcome.
Sometimes right next to the door is the best place, honestly.
Yeah. Are you in costume right now?
Me? No.
No?
I'm not that cool. I'm just a boring person.
Aw, no, that's not true. Come on.
You've done more with your life than Andrew and I have. Like you're like Andrew and I podcast where we talk to people. You fighting for the future of the planet, making sure that it's around for a lot longer without us messing it up.
Yeah, you do that and we don't, and that should be the thing that makes you cooler than the rest of us.
Andrew and I sit down in chairs and talk.
But you guys are putting together a podcast and, like, spreading other people's voices and being your own entrepreneur. So, hey, you're doing something too.
Okay, that is fair. I guess, you know, if you put it that way, I guess maybe Andrew and I are really great. And I think, I think I'd like to take this moment just to talk about how great Andrew and I are now, because you've opened the floodgate.
Yes, do it.
Oh, no.
This is where everything goes off the rails, and everything goes horribly wrong.
This is where we start talking like the president. We're so great. We're the greatest.
We are truly the best podcast on Apple Podcasts right now.
You do so much of a better impression. Do you want to just handle
Andrew, you know this, that I do impressions.
Yeah, you do. I do impressions. I just can't do Trump.
Yeah, I do impressions and accents. That's my thing, Andrew.
Yeah. Do you do impressions or accents, Anna Grace?
No, not at all.
No? All right, we're recycling our entertainment questions that we ask actors.
Okay. we just kind of go. We have a.
I think we pulled up the wrong list of questions here.
Oh damn it! We tried to. We had the wrong. I gave him the wrong pages document. Damn it! Oh no. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Got the right one.
Oh, thank you. It's good. Everything is all set now.
Anyways, this is what happens a lot when we talk to people. We like to make it more conversational. We like to kind of go in wild directions that we don't know. You know.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, we wanted to have fun. You know, we want to create a fun experience for the interviewee, so to speak.
Yeah.
Your Twitter says Climate Queens co-founder. What is that?
Yeah, so Climate Queens is an organization. We kind of took a little break because school started, but it's basically just empowering like the female voice in the climate conversation, because in the activism world it is a lot of females, but in the authoritative like decision-making world it's all like dudes who just kind of think that they know everything. So it's kind of just to like create a safe space, but also to like educate women about ways that they might be affected disproportionately, and then also just kind of to like do a lot of intergenerational organizing of like different expertise levels, because everybody is like an expert in something different, and not to degrade somebody's expertise.
That's amazing. That's a great mission statement.
That really is.
Because guys don't know anything. I don't know if you've seen us lately. We are about as dumb as
rocks. Yeah,
rocks. That was good. We both same time.
It's definitely not a phrase that's been around for quite a while. Dumb as rocks. Yeah, Andrew and I created it right now on the spot. We're that in sync that we both invented the same phrase at the same time. I'm working on trademarking it right now, actually.
Yeah. So as you can see, we're not the best gender. So that there should be more. I think there should be more organizations like that out there. Are you trying to get to the Yas Queen culture?
Yes, but not so much that we're like Visco girls.
Okay, that's good.
I'm glad that we're drawing the line at Visco girls.
That's a good line to draw. Honestly, they're on Instagram all the time, and they're not, they're not the ones that you want helping climate change.
No.
It's they're just.
Hi, welcome to the part where we talk about Visco girls.
We have 5 pages of. There's a lot of Visco girl material that we always have in all our interviews.
Yeah, for some reason, Andrew and I just write a lot about Visco girls.
Yeah, it's unhealthy. It really is. But yeah, I mean, it's you do so much good for the world, and it's inspiring. Honestly, it really is inspiring, and it's just what do you think we could do? What do you think if you could say what could people do to sort of make the world a better place? Like, what would you say to do?
I'd say start local, like even in your own house, the little actions of I don't know, recycling, or not buying produce in plastic bags, or walking less, driving less. And then also the local policy level, because not everybody is privileged enough, of course, to make those small changes. So then write to your representative or tell them your story or why you care about this. And that will make the biggest difference, because they want to hear your stories and they don't want to just kind of make a decision without knowing, which they tend to do, but make your voice heard in those ways.
Yeah, I don't even have a car, so I don't plan on getting a car. I'm anti-car. That's my action.
I have a car. I just don't use it while I'm at college because I'm in the city. I'm walking around. But I think that cars, they do a lot of damage to the environment. I think it is better to use public transport if you can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that.
Do you recommend public transport, or is that also a thing?
I would say in American culture, public transport has issues.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Because it's just not. It's not always the best, but it's definitely better than a car to be in a bus of a bunch of people, or on a train. It's not 100% better, but at least there are more people per the emissions coming out, so it is less per person. Overall, the only problem is I feel like it's not as readily available in America as it should be, especially with the vast distance this country has. And the train infrastructure here is really just dead. It's just kind of died.
So dead.
Yeah.
Also the littering.
Oh, yeah.
So much littering. There's so much, people just leave things on the train. And
there's so many issues with everything.
You said you were political, right, Anna Grace?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
No, it's good. You said you were political. You're in the politics.
Yes, I'm very into politics.
Have you been following the primary?
A little bit. Probably not as much as I should be, but I'm following it.
Yeah. Is anyone you like particularly?
I'm of course all in for Bernie and Warren. They both have great platforms and detailed platforms.
Yeah.
I'm kind of shying away from Biden. Doesn't really have that good of a platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biden.
When he first announced he was running, I was like, this could be good, and then I've just no.
Yeah, exactly how I feel.
He said we want to return to normalcy. I'm like, we need kind of more than that. We need normalcy and then some.
Yeah.
It's not just complete normalcy. I'm very into Andrew Yang. I'm a
Yang gang. The Yang gang.
Yeah, the Yang gang.
So he's okay. He's okay.
I like him. He's cool.
I don't know. I'm not his biggest fan. I mean, I can't vote. I'm just not allowed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an immigrant.
Well, we need immigrants. Immigrants are what this country is made of.
Yeah. Still can't vote though.
That's so stupid.
It is. Well, so I think it is stupid that I can't vote, but I kind of understand it because it makes sense that you wouldn't want a bunch of people flooding into your country for a while just to vote and then do it. It's sort of a major precaution against having the chance to have just a bunch of people from another country come in, be like, I live here for a bit, and then voting, then leaving. Because there is always that risk, but I do think it is fully stupid just to say there's no way an immigrant can vote unless they become a citizen. Because it is kind of a weird thing. It's just one of those things that needs tweaking, honestly.
Do you think the green card should give you the I feel like the green card should at least give you
it should, but it doesn't.
It doesn't.
You have to have citizenship.
Well, that's why we need a 12-year-old president.
A 12-year-old president just
do the hard things that
a 12-year-old president is going to give everyone citizenship. That's
they give everyone citizenship, and
that's all they'll do.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the whole impeachment thing? I'm guessing you're pro impeachment.
I am pro impeachment, but I feel like there's just so much drama behind it right now. And it's just kind of getting to a point of like nothing else is getting passed or talked about.
Yeah.
And they're just focusing on this, and it's like, yes, I do think we should impeach Trump, but like also, hello, there are so many other things like sitting at your desk that you could also work on and not just leave everybody else hanging.
I think it's also come at a kind of bad time, to be honest. Like, the election's just around the corner. If the impeachment, like, if it goes horribly wrong, the Democrats have basically, like, there's a chance that they have outed themselves from the race. Like, that it will almost immediately go to Trump if they have messed up this impeachment.
For sure.
Like, there's a lot riding on this, because, like, it's either he's going to get impeached, it's just going to kind of calm down, or it's going to go wrong and Trump's probably going to win again, or another Republican party is going to win.
I think the issue is the thing is it's a big deal because it's like everything that the Democrats want to do that's good for the country, like it's such a like a cat versus dog thing at this point where people don't really. It's like our politicians don't really care about the nature of our country. It's just about beating the other side. It's about sort of being against. It's not about what's good for the country. It's about being against. It's about
being against the other side.
It's like being true to your gang. It's like a gang.
Yeah.
And
it's evolved a lot since the original conception of what it is, but that's just sort of how it happens with modern society, and the more connected we get through technology and the more we're able to voice our opinions, the more we have to go to certain extremes and lesser extents a middle ground, because people will start believing one thing and go one way, and it's just kind of like an unfortunate truth. Like there are things where there is one side that's objectively right, like bringing this back to climate change. People who say like climate change is an issue and we need to change things, that is objectively right. That is definitely an issue.
Yeah, there's some science to back that.
Yeah, there is so much science to back that. But then there's plenty of other things politically which are like more, in a sense, moral, you know?
Yeah.
And to lean so heavily on one side is kind of an issue. You should kind of, and that's what it is nowadays. We're leaning very heavily on one side. There seems to be almost like this death of the middle ground in modern America for those moral issues.
That's the issue with like cancel culture.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's all these people. It's like you say something. It's like you try to give a different argument for something good, and everyone's trying to solve the problem. Everyone's trying to.
Yeah, because there are people who have done wrong with cancel culture. Like, it started because there was people who've done so much wrong, and people were saying stuff about them, but no one listened, and it all just built up until like people were like, oh, this is bad. We need to stop this. But then people have jumped onto the extremes of stuff, and it gets too far. So yeah, more like stuff like that where it's like a lot moral based or things like that. There's issues of it, but I think at least with things that are scientifically accurate, like the climate change and vaping in youth, there's objectively a right side there.
You can see the results. I mean, all these New York Times articles about people dying from vape accidents and THC, and you know, it's right. It's like you see people dying, and it's like that should be enough, right?
It should be enough.
But it's not, and people still do it. And I talk to friends, and I talk to friends sometimes, and I'm like, you know, why do you vape? He's like, and they're just like, don't vape. I'm just like, you're vaping. And it just doesn't make it. I'm like, how about you stop? Okay, I know not to do it. What about you? What about, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I can't, man. I don't know what it is. I just can't, you know. It's like, you know, get help.
Yeah, there's
someone.
Stuff like that. It's sad.
But before we go, I just want to ask you something that I saw on your Twitter. It said you're doing a project on the mental health impacts of climate change leaves on individuals. You want to say anything about that, or what that's about?
Yeah. So for school, they're like, I'm supposed to just do projects and kind of whatever I feel like doing. And I've been really curious about mental health impacts of climate change. Like I myself have definitely dealt with a lot of like depression and anxiety around climate change, and I was actually so numb about it that I was just kind of didn't even know what I was fighting for a while. So I want to learn more about how other people have been impacted, and how people will be impacted more in the future, but also how disasters and stuff have impacted people's mental health. But I want to hear from people's stories and less of like, love science, but science can just kind of be an overwhelming thing to get those results from.
Do you think more science should be done about like sort of like anxiety and depression in high school? Because I feel like they don't do enough for that, right?
They do not do like nearly enough. I do think there should be more done for that.
Yeah, because I think that's an issue. I think that's one of the huge things, that sort of education, and I think the education system in our country.
Yeah.
I think it's just there's so much, and also I think because it's just the things that are being put focused on are like the wrong things, and we have a whole culture dedicated to like passing tests, and you gotta get an A to get into a good college and there's just so much more to life than just getting an A and
good grades,
and good grades, and and I just think I think people, especially young people's mental health state, should be more of a focus and more of a priority in this country.
I agree with that, and it's also like all of the standards that we have are creating these mental health barriers. So it's like you also have to make people reflect upon the things that you are applying pressure to, making people's health worse.
Yeah, there's and I'm gonna be honest. There's part of me that really believes that, and then like 3/4, not even like 90% of me believes that, but there's also a 10% there who's just like, I don't like taking the SATs. I don't like those tests. It'd be nice if we didn't have to do them, but yeah, I mean it is a huge deal, and I really wish they they did more work on that, because I think the world would be a better place. But anyways, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. It's truly been great, and thank you for standing up like for the Earth, basically. Fighting for climate change and like saying that we need to change our ways, because it is a big issue. Nowadays there's a lot of problems with it, and we've ignored it far too long. We need to make changes, and I'm glad that there's people like you leading that movement and like sort of spearheading it in ways.
Of course. Thank you for letting me have this conversation with y'all.
Hey, we had a lovely time talking with you.
Yeah, it's been great.
Have a good one, Anna Grace.
Thank you. You too.